To understand Megalobox, we need to take a look back at the classic boxing anime Ashita no Joe, as Megalobox was Ashita no Joe's 50th anniversary tribute project. Ashita no Joe may be the oldest anime I've seen start to finish. In fact, it is so old that back then, kids were allowed to smoke on TV. But despite Ashita no Joe's age, it mostly holds up. It has some great characters and great drama between the characters. Its themes are about as relevant now as they were back then. The one aspect of the show that really doesn't hold up is, of all things, the boxing itself, which is honestly atrocious. If they just fixed up the boxing, I guess you could see the appeal of a modern retelling of Ashita no Joe, and that's largely what Megalobox Season 1 is. The characters and many of the themes directly mirror their counterparts from Ashita no Joe. The boxer, the coach, the little rascals tagging along, the rich girl, and the elite rival she's backing, they're all back. And that meant you got a good story, but it also meant you got the same story twice. Despite being all modernized and technolized, Season 1 never stepped out of the original's shadow. Granted, that may be irrelevant if you're in the 99% or so of Western viewers who watched Megalobox Season 1 but hadn't seen Ashita no Joe. It's probably like all the people who watched Cross Game without ever having watched Touch, thinking it was brilliant, but then going back to watch Touch and realizing the same author did the exact same story several decades earlier, and the earlier version was in fact much better in almost every way. Anyway, if you're anything like me and you had seen Ashita no Joe before watching Megalobox, you'll be pleased to know that Megalobox Season 2 finally takes the franchise somewhere new. In the first half of Season 2, the show gets into drug addiction, Joe moving from fighter to coach, and the whole immigration environment, which was kind of on display in Season 1, but they get into it deeper here. Then in the second half of the show, there was this whole scientific ethics plotline, the kind of thing that you weren't going to get in the original Ashita no Joe from the 60s and 70s, but these kinds of themes are really overdone in anime these days, so I couldn't get invested in it. What I did find compelling about the second half of the season was seeing the kids grow up. I didn't expect to see these cartoonish, one-dimensional rapscallions who played almost pet-like roles to turn into real people. We never got to see that for Ashita no Joe, and it makes you wonder, whatever happened to those kids? When the new show makes you reflect on the old show and start seeing it in ways that you never saw it before, you could say that's exactly what makes a tribute project successful. Overall, this was a very good season. Final grade, double plus.